now tuned in to Butterbee Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. It is so good to see you guys. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. I'm super excited to bring on this gentleman. He is an actor, a writer, producer, director, and instructor, Mr. Dwayne Boyd. How you doing today?
Thanks for having me. How you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling real good. It's been a minute since I've seen you.
It has, man. It's been a minute since we've seen anybody, you know what I'm saying? So just to be back in the present somehow, some ways, is truly a blessing, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. So here at Transparency, I like to dive right on in. So can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'm like I said, a producer, director, writer, actor, sandwich maker, whatever I got to do to keep the lights on, you know? So, but no, man, I'm a photographer, just a little bit of everything. And I was having a conversation yesterday about, you know, in this business, you kind of have to do a little more than just one thing if you want to survive, you know, because when one thing is slow, you have to pick up, you know, other areas and do what else you can. So, yeah, man, I think for me, it's been about just always maneuvering and changing with the times is the way things go. I mean, we're in this digital age now, and everything is online. Everything is moving a lot quicker, so we have to adjust. Yeah, so I've been the founder of Premier Actors Network for the past 18 years now. That's a class I started way back when in 2003, and I've been able to help a lot of people's careers over the past few years just flourish. And a lot of my folks are working actors, and they're auditioning quite a bit. They have agents now, different things like that. And they're moving in other areas of their career as well, as far as behind the camera, producing, directing, wardrobe, style, whatever they can do. So I'm honored to be able to say that, you know, and keeping it moving, man.
Okay, so we're gonna dive a little bit. We're gonna go back a little bit.
Okay.
So how did you start acting? You know, where did you grow up?
I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri, born and raised there. And when I was growing up, there was not a lot of performing arts things in Kansas City, the Midwest. So, you know, this was never an option. You know, I was lucky enough to get bused to a school outside of the district that I grew up in, because I grew up in the inner city of Kansas City. You know, it's kind of rough up there, and we just didn't have a whole lot of extracurricular activity. So I ended up getting bused to the city of Independence, Missouri, and going to a school that was diverse. And I ran into my high school years. I got to take an acting class from a lady named Miss Bassa. And she was incredible. She would always tell Mr. Boyd, you playing around with this, but you can really do something with this. And I was like, what am I gonna do with it? Nobody on TV look like me. What am I gonna do? You know? And it was right then and there, I realized that maybe she's got something. And I went to the military right after high school because I didn't want to go to college. I felt like college was just not for me at that time. I was not focused. And I ended up going to the military, did 7 years in the Army, got out the Army, came to Atlanta because I loved Atlanta, loved the energy down here. And I realized that I wasn't happy cutting hair. I was a barber, running a barbershop. And a good friend of mine, Chris Bryant, he worked at V103 at the time. He was in sales and marketing at V103, and he used to come get his hair cut every Thursday or something. And I told him, I said, man, I just feel like I'm missing something. I feel a little depressed about where I'm at in life. And he said, well, what do you want to do? Without hesitation, I said, I want to act. And he said, go do it. So I packed my stuff up that weekend. I quit my job as the manager there, and went to strike out and start acting. And I came back to another shop next week part-time because I realized I still need some money, you know. So, but you know, that really started me on this journey of becoming an actor. Started taking classes, got headshots, different things like that, and then here I am.
Okay, so do you remember your first time on stage or on screen, and what was that like for you?
You know, my first time on screen, man, was I did a movie. Was it a movie called Boycott? I was Jeffrey Wright stand-in, and I had like a little featured extra role on there. You know what I'm saying? So that was to me amazing to me. I was working with Terrence Howard on that set and everything else, and it was great because that's when I realized that maybe I can do this. You know, I think every actor has to start out and just kind of feel their way through. And I was doing starting out doing extra work, figuring out, is this something could I deal with the long hours on set? Is it, you know, the different conditions? And that was my first ever gig. Was working for HBO. A guy named Clark Johnson was the director. And he was from LA, and he kept coming, Dwayne, get over here, do this. Dwayne, try this. And I was a lot of featured moments in the script, but got to work with some A-list talent. I mean, just watching Jeffrey Wright work every day that close to me was amazing, because I saw him in a movie called Shaft before he did Martin Luther King and Boycott. So this guy went from playing a Hispanic drug lord to playing Dr. King, and both were so convincing. I said, this guy is the guy. I said, I was just in awe watching him. So that kind of lit a spark on me, and I started to do more on auditions. I think I landed my first major role was a movie called The Gospel in 2005, opposite Idris Elba and Boris Kojo.
Oh wow!
Big shout out to Will Pack and Rob Hardy, Rainforest, man. They gave me my first big shot. And I got to play Oscar in that movie, and it was a great experience because that really let me know that I can do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you feel that Atlanta is a good working hub for opportunities?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean,
as opposed to New York or LA?
Well, I think now everything is online, like I said earlier. So you can't just say, hey, I'm going to do it from right here and that's it. No, you have to now understand that people can be seen all over the world for an audition, or can create content all over the world. It's funny because I was talking to a young man who was a part of that, the Will Smith reboot of Fresh Prince yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but last year they did like a darker, edgier version of the Fresh Prince, and it got picked up by NBC. Moving forward, Will Smith saw it, got behind it, and now they're moving forward the series. And those guys are from my hometown, Kansas City. I didn't even know that.
Wow.
So they shot it in Kansas City, everything else, marketed online, and it got Will Smith's attention, and he took it and got it a deal. So yeah, anything's possible now. I mean, all you have to do is do the work, because I think now what we're seeing is a renaissance. And Hollywood has this thing where they're still the gatekeeper. I understand everything still originates out of there. All the deals are made out of there, but it's a different movement now. You can do a project and it can get steam, and people can look at you on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and it takes off. A lot of my actors like Desi Banks and DC Young Fly, Manuel Hudson, those guys created an online platform, and look where it got them. They're working all over the place now. I think that's a great thing. It's a great time to be alive and to be a content creator in this world. As
I was just telling you behind the stage before I pulled you on, I'm working on my first feature film.
Yeah. See? You already got the answers. You got the answers. You got all the answers, Sway. You got the answers.
So, okay. Should actors start off as background? Like, how do you break into this industry? You touched on it a little bit on how you got in. Right. But do you think that's the right move for an actor when they first start? Or do they start with getting acting lessons? What's the first move?
Well, first thing I think is definitely taking classes. That's number one. I mean, because you have to know what you're doing. At the time when I started, there was not a whole lot of classes here, so which prompted me to start Premier Actors Network. But there was not a lot of classes here, so I had to seek out a class somewhere. And I studied with this guy, Gaylord Parsons, at Celebrity Acting Studio years ago. And I ended up becoming an instructor there for a while before I started my own thing. But that was the start for me to see myself take this serious. I knew that I could do it based off just having that confidence of being in class. And I would say you don't have to start extra work, but some people do, because you need to know what you're getting yourself into. Being an extra on set allows the neophyte actor to see everything up close, to see if this is what they truly want to do, see how many hours it puts in. Like just coming off of Raising Dion season 2, I coached on both seasons of that show for Netflix, and I have a lot of respect for Josiah, because he had to get up every day at 6 and go to work like a grown person. He was 6, 7 years old at the time when he started this. Wow. So this lets you know, if you really, everybody sees the red carpet and the premieres and all the social media life, set life and all that stuff, but when you go to work, you are at work. It's a whole different focus you have to have. A lot of people don't see that. So
yeah, and then there's a lot of different.
I would say, there's many ways that you have to forge your own path, but.
So the sound has just went out.
Okay, is that better? Okay. Yeah, I'm saying that there's a level of commitment that it takes to really truly be in this business.
Absolutely. And what I'm learning, I started my first film like 5 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago now. And my boys have been actors since they were 7 and been on major sets.
Nice.
So now I'm in the mix, and these hours, it is serious. You're doing 12, 16 hours. You think that you just see the end result and think that they didn't really have to do a lot. You have to really know these lines and make them your own, so that it's believable, with what somebody else wrote,
Yeah, absolutely. So kudos to you, man. I know how hard it is, just even doing my own projects, and I know It's a struggle, it's a challenge, but you guys just got to keep pushing, keep moving, and you'll do it. You'll finish it because you got that spirit in you.
Thank you so much. So tell us about your group, Premier Actors Network.
Yes, we have acting classes. We meet every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 7:30 to 10 for the adults, and kids class and teens are Saturdays from 11 to 1. Now, we were typically located at the Porter Sanford Performing Arts Center in Decatur, but since the pandemic, that building hasn't really reopened. So I've been doing it at the studio loft I have downtown at the Mattress Factory loft. So if anybody can come in for a free audit, and we work on improvisation, scene study, on-camera exercises, anything that can help you become a working actor in this market. I call that the gym. That's where we go and put in the work and figure it out. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you get an opportunity you're not ready for. And staying sharp, staying ready like an athlete is what we have to do. A lot of people don't realize NFL players. I had a few students that were NFL players, and a lot of them guys train year round just to stay in the league. So why are we thinking we can take time off and not focus and dedicate ourselves to the craft of training, as far as training, and expect to consistently work? If you're not on set, you need to be in class. If you're not in class, you need to be on set. It's just that simple.
It really is just that simple.
Yeah.
How important is it to, when you're doing your auditions and everything, how important is it to really get into character, and what advice do you give someone when they are auditioning? Because nowadays you're not coming directly into the studios, you're doing it online. So and I'm seeing this because of people that have auditioned for my movie. Some people miss the mark altogether. They're filming, they got all this noise going on in the background. They got other things going on, and they aren't into character and everything. How important is that?
Well, I think it goes back to what I said earlier, practice. You don't want to wait till this big audition comes up and you have to get ready. You want to stay ready. So the more and more you practice, and then like when you sent your slides out or whatever you sent out for auditions,
right,
hopefully they had enough time to prepare and do what they need to do, so there was no excuse for them to come in the room not prepared. It's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to bomb an audition. I get that. It happens all the time. But if you are prepared and confident in your craft and know to go in the room and be in the moment, be present, know what your preparation is, but also be prepared to take a redirect in that room. Or if you get a call back via Zoom now, they want to see that you're able to be redirected and give them honestly what they need. But it goes back to your prep work, understanding your circumstances, given circumstances. What do you want in the scene? What you're fighting for? Why? All the questions we have to ask ourselves as actors, and we have to become, I call us scene investigators. We have to figure out what all the circumstances in the scene are. What's the tone of the scene? What's the objective? What's our conflict in the scene? Everything that we practice in class. So when they go to set, it's second nature. When they go to have that audition, it's second nature. I was in the military for 7 years. I was in the infantry, and we would always practice for combat. So when we got to combat, we didn't look crazy or get shell shocked or like a deer in headlights. So I used that approach as far as my actors. So you know exactly what it is you need to do when you get that audition. First thing you need to do is break that scene down. Figure out what it is your character wants, who they're talking to, how they feel about the other person, what they want from the other person. What happens if they don't get it? All these things that allow ourselves to be as prepared as possible in that audition. And it's just practicing being confident and knowing what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I also would like to add, you have to have tough skin and definitely be coachable, because at the drop of the dime, things will change.
Yeah, no. I booked the role a couple weeks ago, and then they called me same day, tell me it got cut from the film. So like, oh well, I had it, didn't have it. So this having tough skin, being able to accept no, and moving from no to no without losing enthusiasm is the trick here. Because you're gonna get so many no's in this business, and it's never gonna go the way you think it should go. So you gotta just allow yourself to be excited, just the opportunity to audition. I tell people all the time, our job as actors is the audition. Booking is the bonus. If you can book, great. But once you do that audition, go in there, give the best performance you can give in that moment. Don't preconceive anything, and walk away and let it go when it's over.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so what has been the hardest part about working in this industry?
The hardest part for me is, I think, because I do so many different things, but just managing personalities, being able, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, because that's truly what we all are as artists, because we don't have the 9 to 5 a lot of times. If we do have the 9 to 5, that's supporting our dream. But I think that, having to be self-motivating, even when you feel down, the chips are down, and you feel like, okay, things are not working, what do I need to do? And that's when I try to find a way to stay creative and refocus on something. like right now, I'm not working on any project right now as far as coaching or acting, whatever. So I'm shooting a commercial on Monday. I'm shooting a commercial. I'm sorry, on Sunday, me and my producing partner, Keisha Willis, we're shooting a commercial for a law firm, and that's, to me, it keeps me creative. It keeps me doing something in the business. And that's the things that sustain me. When things are slow in one area, I can go work on something else, and it doesn't always have to be in the business. I do real estate as well. I flip properties. I've been doing that for the past 4 or 5 years now, and I enjoy that. So we've been able to flip like 6 or 7 properties now, and it's been great. So those are the things that sustain me outside of the craziness that we deal with. So when a booking comes along, I'm like, oh man, this is the only thing I have going. It sometimes can be in a way. Man, I don't know if I can do that because I'm already committed this. But I'm really excited about just the possibility of everything that's coming to Atlanta, man. I wake up every day at 5 a.m. ready to go, and I'm just excited about life. So that and a little caffeine to keep me going. So
absolutely. So how do you just said that you have a lot of different hats that you're wearing right now, photography, real estate, you're acting, directing, you're doing a lot. So how do you balance your work life and your personal life?
That's been a struggle right there. If I had to struggle in any area, it's probably that. Anybody I'm dating at the time, I have to tell them, hey, look, I'm a busy person, so it's gonna be some times when I'm probably not as available as you'd like. Is that okay with you? And she'll be like, yeah, okay. And then they realize, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for. And I say, hey, but I have to do a better job of balancing that. I have to figure out ways to, just kind of shut off at a certain time of day. Like I get to work my job from 8 a.m. or whatever till however long I want to go, but I still have to have a personal life. I still have to have R&R. I still have to get out with my boys on the weekends and have a drink or something just to be able to live, because we get so caught up in what we're doing. And I truly love what I do. So it's not like always a job for me. It's fun. I get to go to work every day and work with people I enjoy and laugh and have a good time. I couldn't ask for a better life, when it comes to what I get to do day to day. But I do have to have that balance. I do have to be out with I was out with my boy Trayvon this weekend. He was in town from Carolina, and we were hanging out, kicking in. And he'll start talking to us. I said, no, we're not talking acting today. We having fun today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's excited about what he does, and we all are. And it always ends up back to, I was at a festival this weekend over at Rocksteady, Afrobeat festival, having a good time. And I had, before I know it, I was standing around a circle talking to a bunch of actors about acting, and that happens. So it's not like work, but I do have to have that balance.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So what I want to do right now is play your video because you have done some amazing things.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So let me play this and then we're going to talk a little bit more about it.
Got it.
Show me your hands.
LAPD off duty.
At least we were.
Put your hands up and step away from the body.
This is not what it looks like.
Looks like you're about to be under arrest for murder.
Look, we'll give you our boss's number. You can call him. He'll explain everything.
Great. We can do that down at the station while you're sitting in the cell next to a guy with no pants on.
Look, if you think that scares me, you're absolutely right.
I looked everywhere. There's no sign of their friends.
We told you they're in trouble.
Homicide's 10 minutes out.
Good. So you're not gonna do this?
No, I'm not.
Then I have no choice but to suspend you until further.
Oh, come on, Captain.
Until an investigation happens. You understand that, right?
That's bullshit.
I'll have somebody.
Well, you know I'll have somebody from IA. Oh, your son's a heroin addict. I need you to leave the premises. Get over it. Leave the premises. Go.
So, John, when you fired your weapon, it was purely self-defense, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're telling me at the time of the shooting, you had no idea about Raymond Casey's connection with Martine McGuire?
My daddy would have taught my ass I run off like that. Kid's a smart ass.
His name Ivan.
Come on, boy, let's go.
Hey, did you see a homeless vet run out here?
No.
He just attacked me.
You okay? Yeah, what's going on with these guys? Had one last week that almost chewed off his own finger.
I really appreciate it.
No worries. We didn't bother with charges.
Marty, I owe you big.
I may have to hit you up for tickets one day. My little girls, they love your sister.
Done. You've gone above and beyond, and I cannot thank you enough. And I know that Jackson thinks you too.
I understand. We all got that one family member.
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks. That's nearly all the training camp. It's an estimate, Davis. An optimistic estimate, okay? We know that your body's taking a little bit longer to heal now.
It's nice meeting you, man.
Marcus, it was great talking to you, and I hope I can trust you as a flight controller a lot more than I can trust these stories you're throwing around.
You should be so lucky. I like this guy.
Great. That was great.
Yeah, it's always great to see yourself on TV. I tell you that, man.
Absolutely. So what has been your most memorable set?
Oh man,
And why?
it's been so many, man. Just oh god, each set has its own identity, man. I got to work on a movie called I Like Timothy Green with Common. Me and him got real cool on set, so that was amazing. He's a great guy. Hunger Games was a challenge, but it was a great experience because I didn't realize how much of a monster project it was going to be. And one of my most fondest memories on set was the day we were shooting The Reaping, where all the kids were getting auctioned on stage or whatever for the Hunger Games, and it was it was so hot out there. It was over 102 degrees, and we had all that peacekeeper stuff on. I had never been so hot in my life. And, I'm gonna lie to you. They had kid extras that they were just passing out left and right. Yeah, they would put somebody else up in front, and I just kept telling myself, please don't pass out, please don't pass out, please don't pass out. So it was tough. I had never been so hot, And on the flip side of that, I had a situation where I worked on a project with Al Pacino that was really cold, and they had me in water in 37-degree temperature, 8:30 in the morning in the Chattahoochee. So those are some of the things that you got to really want to do this. But just meeting the awesome people I'm working with, man, just having the great experiences and being around other creative artists, man. It's just, every project has its own identity, man. So it's so many of them. I couldn't pick one, but those are things that stand out right off.
Yeah, definitely. So your mentor was writer and director Robert Townsend. Tell us about that experience.
Man, let me tell you something. Y'all don't understand that Mr. Townsend is that guy. He's a beast, man. And I used to live when I was in Germany. I was married in the Army, and I was in Germany. And we would watch Five Heartbeats. Me and my ex-wife, Carmen, we would watch Five Heartbeats. Oh, we knew every line of that movie. So to meet him and get to work with him and be mentored by him for a couple of years, man, was truly phenomenal. And if you know anything about Mr. Townsend, he's just like Duck in the Five Heartbeats. He's a real giving person. He's really about the business, but at the same time, he understands that this is business. One of his famous sayings would be like, "It's from here on out, it's military," and what he meant by that was it's go time, and we had to focus and lock in, and have that type of approach. So I learned so much working because he showed up at a time I was ready to give up. I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to quit, and he showed up and restored that faith, and this is going to work. But he told me, Hollywood doesn't need you. You got to show them that they need you. And how you do that is create your own content. Because he did Five Heartbeats, Hollywood Shuffle, Parenthood, all these great projects. So he kept telling me, what are you waiting on, Dwayne? Make your movie, make your movie, make your movie. You got the people, make it. So I assembled the team together, raised some funds. We shot a movie in 15 days for 20 grand, and it made ABFF, and it got distribution on Amazon. So, and I remember him telling me, you did it, Playboy. I said you can do it. You did it. I'm so proud of you. And that was my filmmaking moment that to me made me understand that I could be a filmmaker.
You know what? That just spoke to my soul and said, you know what? You're on the right path.
Absolutely.
Keep going. Sometimes you need confirmation of little things. And so you just really spoke to my spirit right there. So thank you.
It happened to me. So I got to pass it, pay it forward, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So you coach singer actress Janelle Monáe for the Oscar nominated film Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
Oh my God. First of all.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience. I absolutely love her, by the way.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. I met Janelle years ago. We went to Georgia Perimeter College together, and we connected in a math class. And we had this math teacher we couldn't really understand. So we was like, we just couldn't understand him. So we would always laugh about that. And she ended up, she was working with me at the time. It was before she really blew up. And I told her, I said, hey, I got an acting class. You just come out. I'm working with Robert Townsend. Come out. And she came out to the class. She's really good. And I told her, I said, you can really do this. She said, yeah, but I want to do my music. I said, but you can do this too. She's like, no, I want to do my music. And of course, her music became, known, worldwide known. And she started to act. And I ran into her at I was called in by Jackie Birch, cast director, for a read. I had to read with some of the actors for a director of Hidden Figures. It was her and Tiana Parrish was up for the role, I believe. And Tiana was amazing, you know what I'm saying? And Janelle came in and did her thing. And we ended up getting a call back. We had to go to LA and meet with the executives of Disney. And I'll never forget, from that point, we just had to let it go. walk away and see whatever happens. I remember one summer night in June that year, I got a call from her and she was so excited. She said, I booked it. And we were just, elated, man. So I'm so proud of her, man. I've worked with her on a few other projects as well, but she's at that point now where she's getting them offers. Them offers are coming in now. And I've been with her when she got an offer and I was like, wow. So it's just different, man. And she's a star in all right. She's always been a star. She's from KC, so we connected automatically. And I'm just excited to see what she's doing. She's really taking her career to the next level, which I didn't doubt at all.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, how important is it to have a demo reel?
Very important. Yeah. And I tell like this all the time. I don't care what it is. Get some student films under your belt, independent, whatever, because that's going to set you apart from the people who are just kind of playing around. So you now have something that says, hey, look, here's my demo reel. Check out my work. And this is who I work with. Because people want to know that you're a professional. And that to me speaks professional more than anything. And I know some people create reels and I get all that. There's nothing wrong with that either. But there's nothing like booking something and having it on your reel saying, hey, I was on MacGyver or I was on Hungry or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So now people know you're a professional actor and it makes them automatically say, oh, no, they're not playing around with their career. They get it. So whatever you got to do to get that footage, get it. Because I remember when I first got signed with People Store, big shout out to People Store, my agency. But when I first got signed to People Store, I didn't have any produced work that they would recognize, but I had independent films, commercials, all kind of stuff on my reel. It was all kind of stuff on there. But they saw it and said, okay, he's natural on camera. We maybe can put him to work here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when should an actor get an agent?
That's tricky because some people get them very early, some people get them later. It's a matter of when you're comfortable enough to be able to, I guess, dedicate the time you need to dedicate to being a professional actor. But because everybody wants an agent right off the rip, and that's just not how that works. They got to see the value in you, and you got to see the value in yourself first. And if you don't see that value yet, when you're ready. When, without a shadow of doubt, I'm ready to dedicate myself to the craft. I'm ready for an agent, and I'll do whatever it takes to get one.
Yeah. So you also offer photography.
Mm-hmm.
Having a professional headshot is a major deal. And sometimes it's a rookie's move to think that all photographers are created equal. Can you tell us why?
Well, there's many type of different photographers. I learned from Richard Mellinger, Dylan Patrick. Those guys really taught me what they knew about headshot photography. But you're right. It's different. Some people do weddings. I don't mess around with. I did one wedding. I said, never again. Too much time and effort. And I don't want to mess nobody's wedding up. But a headshot photographer should be able to bring out the essence of who you are. It should be able to show casting, the casting community, agents, the type of roles you can play. Whenever I have a consultation with actors before we shoot, we sit down and we go over what type of actor are you? Are you the queen bee? Are you the goofy suburban dad? Are you the edgy villain? Are you the girl next door? The soccer mom? What are you selling? Because when you walk into a room, everybody is going to make an assumption about you, right? And they have to see what you see and what you're giving off. Is okay, this person's right for this role. Like I had one girl come over one day and she told me, she said, I'm the queen bee type. I said, nah, you're kind of quirky. I see you like the quirky, nerdish girl. And that's fine because we need that, right? And she was like, no, I'm really not. Nobody's ever told me that. So as soon as we walked outside to do the headshot, she fell down the steps. I said, see, you're the quirky. You know what I'm saying? So, and we got to be okay with the kind of roles we get. I used to fight against it all the time because I got a lot of cops. As you see from my reel, I play a lot of cops, detectives, soldiers, doctors, and I found myself getting a lot of authority figure roles, which was okay. But I said, I don't want to always do that. And I remember, I'll never forget, I had a talk with the dad from That 70s Show. I forgot the guy's name. He's a great actor. We worked on a show together for ABC called Resurrection. And he said, Dwayne, what type of roles do you normally play? I said, well, I always get the cop. He said, well, every show needs a cop. And it just clicked. It changed my mindset from, wow, why not be the cop? Why not be the best cop you can be in every show, whatever? And then when you want to do your thing, whatever you want to do, you can create yourself. Nothing wrong with being a cop. Jennifer Lewis played the mom most of her career, and she nails it every single time. She was the mama in What's Love Got to Do with It, and she's on Blackish. Come on now. That's a career. That's what we're all trying to get. So before we complain about, I don't want to get typecast, you got to get cast first. That's the trick.
That part.
Career, then you can do what you want. Like Halle Berry shows that if you do a certain role, whatever, so long, eventually you'll be able to do your own thing and figure out, what else you can do. Because she had to fight for that role in Jungle Fever. Spike thought she was too cute for that role or too pretty for that role. And she really got down there and made that role a memorable role.
Mm-hmm. So take us through your process of getting ready for a project.
As far as what? Filmmaking?
A role.
A role, okay. Again, I always try to find how am I like the character? What similarities do we have? I try not to judge the character first. You know, everybody has a story, everybody has a past. So the worst thing you can do is going and looking at this person like, okay, this person's a bad person. No, this person has a story. Why are they like that? What is the background? Where did they grow up? What was their socioeconomic situation? You know, did they have a 2-parent home? Did this? I ask myself all these questions about a role. And I can honestly tell you the first role that I guess I'll go back to the gospel. In that role, I played Oscar. He was trying to get his wife back from Boris Kojo and all this other stuff. And I was kind of going through my own situation with my ex-wife at the time. We were going through a breakup and all that stuff. So I immediately connected that role. I said, oh, this is me for real. You know, it just so happened he was a soldier and I was a soldier and he was a sergeant like I was a sergeant, same unit, same rank, same. Matter of fact, my last name used to be Jones before my mom remarried, and that was the character's name of the show. So it was so many parallels there. But I always try to find how I can not necessarily become more of that character, but make the character become me. Now, how can I find similarities there? And that's because that's what I'm gonna connect to it, honestly. Some people have a gift of morphing into somebody else, like a Jeffrey Wright, like a Philip Seymour Hoffman. Those are great character actors, you know, but everybody's not going to be able to do that. Everybody can't do accents. Everybody can't pick up, you know, but if you can bring your honesty, your truth to a role and not try to make a caricature of what you think this should be and make it honest and connect with it, you'll be fine. That's what I always try to do. How is this person like me? How would I handle this situation if this was me? Well, it is me. It becomes me. So.
Okay. So who is your biggest inspiration?
Oh, man. Lawrence Fishburne, man. As far as acting is Lawrence Fishburne, I'm a huge fan of his. I've always wanted to. I mean, when I first started, I wanted to be Lawrence Fishburne. I said, I'm going to play how he would play it. And I realized that that's not how this works, you know. He's such a great actor, man. He can do so many things. He's a chameleon, too. He doesn't get the credit he deserves a lot of times because he'll go play Furious Styles in Boys in the Hood. And then you see him play Thurgood Marshall on Broadway or something.
Yeah.
This guy is incredible, man. Matrix, What's Love? Like, I turned, come on, man. That's so many quotable lines in that movie from him. That dude is incredible to me. As far as filmmaking, I'm a big, of course, Robert Townsend fan, but John Favreau, I like what he does. He's kind of what I try to pattern my career after because he started out as an actor, but then he ended up doing a lot more directing and producing, and that's the route I want to take.
That's what's up. So what's next for you?
Oh, I just got picked for out of a nationwide search. I did submitted for the WGA Veterans Writing Program, and I just got picked for a year program. So I'll be working on that for the next year with the Writers Guild Foundation out in LA, and a lot of workshops. I'll have a writing mentor. I'll get to be able to just learn so much about the craft. At the end of the year, we pitch to studios. So that's the next thing.
That's wonderful. That's really good.
Yeah, it's a blessing, I tell you.
So how can people connect with you?
Social media, that's the way, man. www.premiereactorsnetwork.com. You can go to www.dwayneboydphotography.com. You can find me on social media. Instagram is Dwayne Boyd Photography. Facebook is Dwayne Boyd. And I'm really on TikTok. I'm on TikTok most of my day. That's my problem. I have little TikTok mini breaks throughout the day. I'll spend 5 minutes on TikTok. So it's Dwayne Boyd 2 on TikTok. So
you be doing the dances and everything?
You know, I do the little some of the little trends, but I don't have time to be doing the dances. I just watch it a lot more than anything. I don't have time to make a whole lot of TikTok videos. My little mentee, Amar, he does the TikTok videos. So he keeps me abreast on that. He's 21, so he knows how to do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, it has been my pleasure having you on this show. You've dropped a lot of dimes and nuggets for everybody. We have some comments from people. If you don't mind going on Facebook later on and maybe answering any of their questions or anything. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. This was amazing. And I'm proud of you. Continue to inspire others, but also pursue your dream because that's what we're here for, to make everybody else see the vision by our own actions. And that's what you're doing. So continue.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, with that being said, everybody, we are out of here. So I'm going to talk to you guys later.
Have a great day.
Thank you.